Hey YouTube, it's Earl, and I'll make this one quick because it's late on Tuesday night. You've seen the presidential election, or not election, debate that was on tonight. Maybe my European viewers have not and probably don't care, so I apologize. This is a little bit US centric. But what was that? Was that the worst thing you've ever seen in your life as far as a debate goes? I mean, I really cannot think of a time that I've seen anything worse. And I mean that for everybody. Um, Trump did bad. Moderator did bad. Joe Biden did bad. Everybody did bad. Everybody looked like a teenager. I mean, here's what it looked like to me. I've got an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. And when we eat dinner, very often they get into disagreements and arguments. And me trying to stop that argument at the dinner table is an awful lot like what we saw tonight for a presidential debate. Two people yelling at each other, one of them telling the other one to shut up, calling him a clown and a racist, and the other one just continuing to talk over him, and the moderator who's been there to kind of set the ground rules. The moderator did bad in that he let one of the contestants get under his skin, and he obviously became kind of one-sided on things and maybe pressed one or gave one a harder time than the other. On top of that, the structure was not all apparent at all, and I can't fault um, the contestants to a certain extent on what was going on and the difficulty in deciphering the structure. Now, Trump, in my opinion, looked bad and lost the debate. This is my opinion. You're free to give me whatever. I know this would be a little controversial. You'll be able to, give me whatever. But I think he lost the debate from the first time Biden got his 2 minutes and he wouldn't be quiet. And I say that because I think coming into this debate, here were the two things. I'm going to give you my keys to the game, right? You all remember the NFL stuff, and you kind of get say, okay, what are the keys to the game for the Broncos to win this, and what's this? So you come in, and I think each one had a major weakness. Trump, in that he talks a lot without ever really getting around to saying much. And look, I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. And up until tonight, I had planned on voting for him, and now I've got some questions. I can't vote for the other side either. Anyway, but I think for Trump, here was his keys to success for tonight. He needed to show himself to be calm and presidential, to be a fighter, but to be in command of the facts. But I think it was very much, in my opinion, what he needed to do more than anything is be presidential, win the debate, force Joe Biden to kind of look as the slow, tired guy that he kind of is. For Joe Biden, I think all he had to do is come across as competent, someone that could string sentences together, and make a point and knew where he was on policy and actually say something of substance. And the reason I think Trump lost the debate is, quite honestly, I think, number one, he didn't come across as presidential. He came across like a junior hire. And then he also took away time from Biden that he may have made gaffes. You watch the first part of that debate, and Biden is having a hard time placing his words in communicating effectively. And so there's part of me that felt like if Trump would have shut up a little bit there was a good chance maybe you got one of those moments where Biden didn't make any sense. But as it stood, both of them, I think, told at best some half truths. I mean, they're politicians. What do we expect? They're not necessarily paragons of virtue. They're not exactly going to present every fact in full context. They not necessarily need to, but they don't do that. You know, you've also got, yeah, it just, it's just messed up. But like I said, I felt like all three of them did poorly. Trump for being Trump and the way he does things, and then the other two guys for letting him get under his skin and doing stupid things, overly correcting him, calling him a racist. And then Joe Biden outright lied about his son, although I've got to say I thought it was particularly poor form for Trump to bring up Hunter Biden while Joe is talking about his deceased son, Beau. I just thought that was tacky and poor form. Even though Biden was making an attack on Trump at the time on unnamed sources about something that Trump said that more people have come out on the record saying he didn't say. So at best it was a he said, she said, but he went with it and ran with it as gospel truth. And I think one of your number one rules is you should probably assume the best of your enemies in politics in the United States, not necessarily on the world stage. But at the end of the day, we're all Americans. I know our policy disagreements can be pretty heated, and I know that they're important. And so I'm not saying you need to be nice. I'm just saying you don't have to put to your opponent arguments he's never made. You don't have to put to him racist ideas that he's never stated. You don't have to get out and say Joe Biden's for burning down parts of the country because he won't, say the words law and order. They're just things that I think we've forgotten how to do. Criticize Joe Biden for the comments that he's made. Criticize Trump for the comments that are actually verifiable that he's made. Those are all fair game. Do it. But be fair to your opponent when it comes to politics. Right? Yeah, that's just me. This probably won't be a very popular video, or maybe it will be. Maybe I'll get lots of comments. Again, apologies to my viewers, but what the hell was that? Good night, everybody.